G'day guys, it's Calvin, the Cartoon Company in New Zealand. So I'm not your typical Link dealer, don't have a big flash workshop. I'm working out of a farm workshop on my family farm, and I do a few 1UZ conversions. I also wire the old Link ECU, like quite a number. And today we're setting up my mate's boat. We've wired it, and I've chosen to do this not on a 1UZ. Deliberately, so I can't cheat and just raid maps off another vehicle that I've set up. 2AZ, 4-cylinder, petrol Toyota engine. Today we're going to set up the digital inputs. This one has already had the analog inputs done, so if you're interested, watch that video. We're going to get onto the laptop, set up some digital inputs. Of course, this is wired, so it's just setting up in the PC Link software. We're working today with a Monsoon X, so the G4x platform. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Let's get into it. I am already into the laptop, and already into the software, G4x. We're going to put in our digital and check our digital inputs. In the last video, as I said, I put all the analogs in. And so we're going to grab, we're going to go to the digital inputs. Here's our little menu, digital inputs. And it brings up some predetermined inputs. I'm going to go to ignition switch. Apparently I've put it on number 2. That matches my wiring. Pull-up resistor. So if it was going to ground, we'd have the pull-up resistor. We're going high in this situation, so active is high, latch is off. I want to check that that's actually on. I know it has to be on because the laptop is communicating with the PC, or with the Link, sorry. Let's have a look here. Tuning, runtime values, digital. And I'm just left-clicking each one of these. Ignition switch is active. That is positive. That's good. Next one. I'm going to go down to number 2, and that is my start input. Over here, I've actually already put it in as a start input. I've gone too far again. We've got one that is a start position. There's preset menu on this one. It's on DI1 apparently. Pull-up resistors off. High. Okay, so let's actually check whether that is working. I can just tap on here and move it to where I want, or whatever I want it to be. I want it as a start position. We're going to go over and test it. Runtime values. So I need to move. And I've made up a bridging tool. We don't actually have the key made up yet. So what I want you to watch is this start position here. And it should be this, it should be here. Well, it seems to work, doesn't it? It actually dragged that battery down. So you can see there, it dropped it down. Yes, I do. I probably should have left the starter motor disconnected for this job. But we did hear that going. So that is working. Right, now I've got, there's a input here, digital input 3. I haven't wired anything on digital input 3. I considered wiring the voltage from the coil power. This one I've got the coils actually on the fuel pump output. or on the fuel pump relay. So they aren't presently got any power. There's no power going to the coils when the engine's off. So it's got naturally closed inactive brake switch. I don't want that in there. I don't want to confuse our tuning with something that isn't actually there. So let's go find that. We're calling it a brake. It's not there. So we'll probably find it in here. There it is, look. We're just going to turn that off. Just gets rid of it out of the list. And I've done another switch. It's from the dash. On number 4. So I click on here. Just wait a moment. I will find out what's going on. Okay, we found it. Over here, GP input. We've also got, see that little arrow there? Bam, easy. Input 4. And then we can tap in here and we can I'm going to go search GP input 1. GP input 1, I can tap on here. Dash switch. So I put that in just as a for later on if we end up putting anything in that we want an extra switch. Dual map, rev limiter, pops and bangs, anything like that. And we should be able to source it. DI4, there we go. Now we've turned it on. Now when we actually go in, off, and we want it on high level because it's, I've got an earth going to the dash, but we're going to do everything positive switching up in there. So now when I close this, bam, we have a dash switch right here. And a DI3 is presently off. I'm really wanting to put that extra wire in for that DI3 now. So I think I might just go make a couple of wiring changes and we'll come back and we'll look at that DI3. So my wiring changes have been done. If you're struggling with how to wire them, in the future I will do some wiring videos for digital inputs. I've done some with the Alexa stuff and a bit of an explanation, but I'll probably do a more specific one for you. So we're doing DI3. Up here. So I go into here, GP input number 3. I was not going GP input 3. We're going to GP input 2. We're going to give it a label. Coil voltage. Coil on switch. Coil on. We're just going to call it coil on. Now, and we're going to put it on DI3 right there. Okay. Brings up some stuff. Resistors off. High, because I want it to switch to voltage, not to earth. And the switch is off. The latch is off. Righto, so we go down here. It's inactive. Now, I did say that this one's, the coil power is on the fuel pump relay. So if I go down to there, fuel pump control standard on number 3. And I've got this little one here which allows me to do a test, which is pretty cool, being able to test it in that point there. If we look in the middle of the screen, digital input 3, inactive, test on. I heard the relay click on, and there it is switching on. So there is a little bit of lag when I switch it on to when I switch it where it actually shows up. But there you go. That does show that it is switching on. Once we've made our adjustments, make sure we store to ECU. Cool. So that's all my digital inputs for this one done. I'm going to move on to some more testing and more stuff in a moment. But that's for the next video. Hope that's been helpful. Talk to you again soon.